Today, I would like us to focus on the lives of Isaac and Rebekah and share some reflections on marriage. So the first reflection I'd like us to remember is that marriage is something that should add value to our lives. In Genesis chapter 24 and verse 67, this is what the Bible says. Isaac brought her, this is Rebekah, into the tent of his mother Sarah, and he married Rebekah. So she became his wife, and he loved her. The last part says, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. He was comforted after his mother's death because somebody came into his life. In other words, there was value addition to his life. You know, the departure of the mother had subtracted something from Isaac's life, but here comes a lovely, beautiful woman into his life. He marries her, and he's comforted. There is value addition in his life. Dear ones, it is a shame that in today's world, marriage has become something that more often than not, causes pain and, causes heartaches instead of being something that should bring comfort. Instead of being something that should bring encouragement. Instead of being something that should bring joy and happiness. I put it to us that marriage should add value, not subtract value from somebody. Friends, the second reflection for us is that marriage should be fun. In other words, it is not something that is to be endured, but something that should be enjoyed. Genesis chapter 26 and verse 8 says, when Isaac had been there a long time, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked down from a window and saw Isaac, NIV uses the word, caressing his wife, Rebekah. Some versions use the word sporting with his wife, Rebekah. Some versions use the words playing with his wife, Rebekah. Another version uses the word laughing. There is an aspect of, fun. It's not a boring thing, Rebekah and Isaac were seen laughing, playing together, sporting, having fun. And so there should be fun in our marriages. How I desire that God would heal our marriages, that we would laugh together. Couples should have fun. Well, the last thing we learn is that marriage should anticipate challenges. And sometimes these challenges are external, but at other moments they are internal. One of the external challenges that Isaac and Rebekah had to grapple with is that those people around them were envious of them because of the blessings of God upon their lives. This is what Genesis chapter 26 verse 14 and 15 says. He had so many flocks and herds and servants that the Philistines envied him. So all the wells that his father's servants had dug in the time of his father Abraham, the Philistines stopped up, filling them with earth. So envious were these people around them that they forced, Isaac and Rebekah to move away to a different place. Here are some of the internal challenges that Isaac and Rebekah had to grapple with. You know, one of the many challenges that they had to deal with was that of childlessness. They were childless for a long time. They got married probably thinking kids will just come. But unfortunately, they had to wait and wait and wait. In Genesis chapter 25, verse 21, we read, Isaac prayed to the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was barren. They struggled with that for a long time. But thanks be to God, the Lord answered his prayer and his wife Rebekah became pregnant. Well, another challenge we see in their relationship is that when the Lord blesses them with children, they play favorites with their children. And in Genesis 25, verse 28, we read, Isaac, who had a taste for wild game, loved Esau, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Favoritism, internal challenge that they are having. A blessing has come, but they are playing favorites with their children. And this created so many problems between the boys that actually Jacob had to flee and live with his uncle for a while. Well, another challenge that Isaac and Rebekah had to grapple with that was internal in nature was that of strained relationship with their daughters-in-law. In Genesis chapter 26, verse 35, we read that Esau's Canaanite women brought so much grief to Isaac and Rebekah. How sad. Dear ones, every marriage has its own unique set of challenges. Some families struggle with finances. Some struggle with childlessness. Some struggle because of in-law influence. Some struggle with bad influence from friends. Some, struggle just because of bad habits that one of the spouses or both spouses may be having. Friends, anticipate challenges. They will be there. The lovely thing is, as long as you're willing to talk through them, you will overcome.